coming to our next speech, we have a guest speaker today who is going to be giving his project form. Can I have his evaluator read the guidelines? Can I borrow your book? The speaker is attempting project 4. The objectives are: select the right words and sentence structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. Timer, please note the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. Our next speaker is giving a speech titled The Three Faces of Justice, which seems like a really apt topic, because when I asked him what's the most important thing for friendship, he said trust. Trust and justice, I think they go perfectly together. Let's find out what it's about. Let's welcome our next speaker, Vijay.
Imagine, my dear friends, imagine visiting a historical building and learning a lesson about your profession. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and your guests. It has been 4 years since I started my practice of law, and I've visited almost all the high courts in India, but Bombay High Court in particular had something special for me to think about. A magnificent structure built between the years 1871 and 1878 at a cost of only rupees 16,44,000, which was less than the budgeted estimate, a fact proudly recorded in the marble plaque near the entrance room on the ground floor. The architect and the design of the Bombay High Court building has depicted 3 different impressions of justice in carvings on the stone facade. The first is the Victorian British ideal of justice. Second is the representation of Indian ideal of justice. The third is that of a cynic and realist who treats justice as a commodity bought and sold in the marketplace by high bargaining. In the Victorian model, justice is depicted as a lady in flowing gown. She is standing with a blindfold over both her eyes. In her upraised right hand, she holds a sword which threatens the wrongdoer with dire punishment for his wrongful conduct. In her half-raised left hand, she holds a pair of scales so as to weigh the evidence led by the contending parties. Now, the Victorian conception is based on the assumption that justice is blind, that she performs a task without fear or favor, and that she does not go by the appearance of the parties arraigned. Now, according to me, Toastmasters, the inherent flaw in this depiction is: how do you see which way the stairs of justice still if your eyes are blindfolded? How do you wield the sword of punishment if your eyes are deliberately closed? And in your blind fury for doing justice, you might strike at the innocent, not the guilty one. And the delay involved in the process of arriving at a decision will freeze right arm of Lady Justice, shoulder of Lady Justice, as also her left elbow holding aloft the sword and pair of scales. Now the second depiction. Now second depiction is based on the Indian experience of what true justice ought to be. Here again the architect has been imaginative. Portrayed justice as a lady in flowing gown holding sword in her right hand and a pair of scales in her left hand. But there are significant points of distinction between the Victorian ideal and the Indian ideal. Here, in the Indian ideal, lady is not blindfolded. With clear eyes and clear head, she sees things with unbiased vision, looking intently at the ever-tilting scales. In her right hand, she holds the hilt of the sword, and the tip of the sword is resting on the ground near her feet, so that her right arm and shoulder are not frozen stiff by the necessary delay involved in the trial. After considering the evidence, Lady Justice is left free and wield the sword swiftly and strike the guilty party. She cannot by mistake strike the innocent. Now the third conception. Standing in front of the Gothic building of the Bombay High Court, one can see 2 tall conical towers above the porch. Northern tower depicts the Indian ideal of justice, while the southern tower depicts the Victorian ideal of justice. At the base of the tower depicting Indian ideal of justice, he carved a face and front paws of a monkey. And the monkey looks in the direction of the high ceilinged central criminal courtroom located in the second floor of the High Court building. The monkey wears an expression of wide-eyed horror, as if to convey feelings of the terrible things being perpetrated in the courtroom upstairs. At the base of the tower depicting Victorian idol of justice is carved a ravenous wolf, ready to tear up the unfortunate accused being tried in the central criminal courtroom. Now, besides all these Toastmasters, the architect and designer of the Bombay High Court building has created 6 figures of justice in caricature depicting human failings in the ideal of justice. Judges are depicted wearing judicial robes and bands. They also hold in their hands sword to mete out punishment and a pair of scales to weigh the evidence. On their faces are black bandages. The faces, the hands, postures of judges are also significantly different from their human counterparts. Now the difference is, here the judges are holding their sword in their left hand as against the Lady Justice where she holds the sword in her right hand. Now the scales of justice are hanging behind their knees, already in a tilted position, and the bandage on the face is askew, leaving one eye shut and the other eye open. Now the facial expression is that of a person seemingly drunk with power, liquor and corruption, grinning away with sly satisfaction. Now did the architect and designer of these images anticipated the decline and fall in judicial standards in the course of time, or did he only portray the justice delivery system in the entire course of human history? We shall never know. Over to you.